Just because I'm talking to you on the internet, it does not mean that you cannot reply back to me. So I do take them little things to heart.
Egos, insecurities.
I don't know you, man. I don't owe you, none of you, man, nothing. So we don't need to make no moves if it doesn't involve me bettering myself or we're not working off each other.
I don't really fuck with too many of these industry dudes because they act like little diva bitches.
They come like Batman, innit?
Why have you even got ego? Who are you? What? You got a fan base, a little fan base? What? Have you got a top 10? Have you got number 1?
Egos are not a bad thing when it comes to music, because this is what makes characters, and that's what makes artists, and that's what makes money and brands.
Stop acting like a diva, say your pussy tight, I don't like spending money either.
The ego constantly strives to have people believe they are not responsible for their own actions, but are rather a victim of circumstance or of the state of the world in general.
It's pride, isn't it? It doesn't. Certain people think I'm not going out about, because I think a lot of it is just who makes the first move, innit? Like who sets pace and says, yeah, yo, whatever, let's get in the studio, put some work together, whatever.
Yeah, definitely, because there's certain men that I'll holler at a man to feature on my mixtape. But where, like, when you're coming from the road, it's different. Like, I don't know, for me anyway, like, if I ask a man once to do a tune and he says, yeah, boom, 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 I might ask him one more time after that. But after that, I don't pressurize, man, because it's a pride thing, you get me? That's where a lot of older people that I talk to, they tell man I need to knock that pride shit, but I don't know, man, I got a lot of pride, so I won't pressure man to do certain things.
A lot of people got that pride where a lot of it's on social networking now, they don't want to get aired on Twitter or whatever, so...
Like even little things, like I might at a man, I might DM him and say, raw, I want to get you on something. And he don't answer, but I see man tweeting. Like, them little things there, I take to heart. Like, I'm not even, like, I might see man and just punch man in his face, you get me, fam? And like, that's, like, me personally, them little things I take to heart, you get me? Because that's like me seeing you on road and saying, yo, Wholagun, and you looking in my face and carry on walking, you get me? Just because I'm talking to you on the internet, it does not mean that you cannot reply back to me, so I do take them little things to heart.
It is always much easier for people to blame everything and everyone else, rather than having to face up to everything themselves, thereby taking full responsibility for their own thoughts and actions.
Everyone feels like they work hard for their spot, innit? Sometimes necessary, man don't want to necessarily share that life with a man that's not helped me to get it.
Cause what it is, they'd rather fuck with a nigga that pretends to be me than fuck with me, because they know I remind them too much of the brother that used to slap them up back in the day and whatever else, or it's too authentic for them. They'd rather fuck with the other side of the dude.
A lot of UK rappers have egos. The problem is a lot of UK rappers ain't nowhere near where a successful artist should be.
No one don't want to do no one no favours, and people feel like they don't want to help no one get on. So anyone who's worked their arse off to get on into a position, they're not going to want to just bring no one else in for no reason. You get what I'm trying to say? Unless they're really like their friend or they really feel them. Why are they just going to do it for anybody? You get what I'm trying to say?
A lot of man's attitude might be like, I don't know you, man. I don't owe you, none of you, man, nothing. So we don't need to make no moves if it doesn't involve me bettering myself or we're not working off each other. If it has nothing in it for me, then I don't need to fuck with homie, because I don't owe you and I don't know you, boy. You see me?
Because it's just a competition, and I just kind of feel it's a situation where not many artists are cross-promoting because of, I don't know, a little bit of apprehensiveness towards, they're very sensitive to their own fan base and whether they want to expose another artist to their fan base, because that fan base may not like you anymore. There's a big insecurity there.
Why have you even got ego? Who are you? What? You got a fan base, a little fan base? What? Have you got a top 10? Have you got number 1? Have you, you know, like most people who got an ego because they got a fan base or because they got a name, or to me it don't mean nothing.
Whenever anything adverse happens, the immediate reaction of many is usually focused towards looking for scapegoats, rather than looking inwards towards self for the real cause of the corresponding effect.
I think whatever you do, in general in life or whatever, you have to have a level of confidence about it. You can't go into anything timid or go into anything thinking, oh yeah, I'm not better than, I can't be better than my man, or no. Like, so, you know, when it comes to music, you just apply the same concept. Like, you can't think, obviously you can't think I'm not good and all that, or I'm not better, but you have to understand, like, everyone has their role in it. As long as you're playing your role in your lane, you have to aim to be the best in that lane, like, or you have to think that my potential is the best in the lane, my role in the scene. Like, it's like a puzzle. Like, you can't have someone trying to be a wretch, spitting man. You can't have that. You can't have someone trying to be a devil, or gets or kick that. There, we already have them. You don't need another one.
I'm my own boss. Nobody can talk for free. Get it? Check.
Some people are so much under the control of their own ego that they really are absolutely convinced that they are always right and everyone else, indeed the rest of the universe, must always be completely wrong.
What I've learned in this industry is about benefits. It's about how can I, as an artist, benefit from you as an artist. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Everyone's trying to progress. So why would an artist on a certain particular level want to collaborate with someone who's not really doing much for themselves, or not putting as much work in, or not adding any value to that artist? It doesn't make sense. It's not logical.
One time you do need like a killer cosign. Like a big cosign will help get people to care about you. It's hard, you get me? But I don't know why people don't want to do it.
To expand your fan base, it's good to work with people.
Like, I don't know if you know, but like in America, obviously there's all these crews like Young Money, Rich Gang. Like, you see Lil Wayne and Rick Ross working together all the time. They're not in the same clique. So why can't the UK be more like that? Why can't we all work together?
But if you're bringing something different to the table, and you know that's your role, you have to aim to be the best in your role, and that comes with confidence as well. You can't approach a situation with no confidence, because you won't be giving your best, I think. And a lot of artists struggle with confidence. Sometimes, you know what it is, because they get a lot of knockdowns, and like, a lot of people are sheep. So, you know, when you're trying to show someone something new, people might not take to it straight away.
The ego constantly strives to be always right, always superior, never wrong, and never inferior. It constantly seeks self-importance, power, and superiority over others, often at any cost, and regardless of who they're affecting or hurting at the same time.
The egos of these guys stem from the fact that they were nobody before they got their deals or before they started doing music, you know? So they don't know how to maneuver in certain arenas and certain corners. So they get a little status and it's like, oh yeah, I'm the man. No, it's not really, shouldn't be that.
Of course, I think everybody has an ego, but if you've got an ego, you can always be brought down, so you're better off losing it quicker than you grow it, do you know what I mean?
So you get yagged route, but you gotta have a balanced route, but you gotta know when it's time to showboat and put your game face on it. You get me? You gotta deliver and talk that smack, and you gotta know when it's time to shut the fuck up and be humble, bruv, and bite your tongue route, but
Fuck the A&R asking if I be coops. Got 100 bags on me, pussy, I can sign you.
A level of ego which can have most detrimental consequences indeed for such an individual.
Because no one likes someone who's too arrogant and too loud and too much of a show-off. People will start to dislike that person. You have to know how to be humble, man. You have to be calm. You know what I'm saying? No, the loudest man in the room is the weakest man in the room.
I don't wanna chat about them. Pagans, fakers, bad minders, haters. My crew don't bring you lots around them. Baiters, fam, she'll backslide for papers. Acres of land, trainers in sand, cause I'm ahead.
The basis of ego is to consider ourselves more important than others and be ready all the time to battle proving it.
Egos are not a bad thing when it comes to music, because this is what makes characters, and that's what makes artists, and that's what makes money and brand.
Me personally, when I hear rappers, I hear good rappers and I like them and I think they're dope. I don't think a lot of people are good, so when I hear someone I think he's good and it excites me, I feel like I want everybody to hear him. You get me? I want everybody to see him and think, yeah, like, so the scene can move forward. That's the whole point, innit? Like, I'll make a tune with anybody. I'll make a tune with everyone I like, you get me? Like, so it is what it is.
Like, why does everyone think that they're better than each other? I honestly don't think we should be so competitive. I think everybody should just appreciate each other's music and just work with each other.
Considering ourselves important and trying to prove it is extremely unwise. This attitude tells upon our health by stressing us all the time. An effort to prove such things itself shows that we are assessing ourselves higher than what we actually are.
What's my ego like? Nah man, I'm cool. I don't even have an ego. I'm joking. You know what it is? Like I'm trying to be the best in my lane, innit? And I think that I'm trying to make the best music possible. And when I make something sick, I don't think someone else could replicate it, which is good because it just means that I think I'm making something unique. And I think I'm, you know, although I always just like to say let the people, but I think I'm the best at doing what I'm trying to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm the best that I could be, and I can't see anyone in the lane. Do you know what I mean? So.
Because you can get two people that are from two different genres of music that have two completely different followings and get them in the studio together, and they can make a tune that they're both comfortable spitting on, that they feel doesn't sacrifice their fan base as much. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just ain't got the self-confidence to do that shit, innit? But if you make a track with someone and they get further than you, like after they made the track, maybe they deserve it, innit? Like, but there's nothing wrong with giving someone an opportunity. Like, it is what it is, man.
An example of that is Dizzy Rascal doing a tune with Robbie Williams, but obviously that's a very big example. I can't do something like that right now, innit? That's way out of my depth, innit? But that's a good example, innit? You understand? Because Dizzy's come from garage, grime, whatever, and made the transition and made music that can be successful on a commercial level. And then Robbie Williams has just got a mad following, you get me? On a different thing. So that's just from two different sides of the spectrum, but you've come together and you've made a big tune now. You understand?
Like me, I'm open to work with anybody. Like, I proper support the UK scene, especially females. Like, I love seeing females work together. And obviously I used to do music with Leash. Like, I just love working with females. Princess Naya, I just love it. But I do think rappers and artists in the UK really do need to work together a lot more.
If we all work together, the game grows. If we all carry on sticking into these silly little circles, we're never going to amount to shit. We're all going to get our little bit of buzz, but sooner or later you're going to come to a brick wall. Why do you want to build a brick wall when we can just be like, we can be building bridges all across the world, you know what I mean?
But on the next tip, egos, definitely, brother, but you have to have egos, or if you're just going to have every minute you're just gonna have 100 of the same man on the same different songs, doing this on 100 of the same 10 artists, just doing bare different collaborations, but it's just the same set of man doing all this because everyone's hugging up and kissing up, so the sound's gonna sound all the same. You get me? Or everyone tries to mix and blend their own music and come up with some madness. It might work, it might not. But egos, definitely a lot of that in the industry, man. 100%.
Ego can be removed if we try to understand the situation, recognize and accept the problem. However, only recognizing and accepting the ego is not enough. As you know, the fact that light removes darkness. However, even light may be there. If you keep your eyes closed, you will not be able to see anything. Light will not be able to help you. What is required is the opening of the eyes. We have to adopt the same kind of attitude towards ego to get rid of it. Then, we'll be able to create an atmosphere of love and peace, friendship and unity everywhere around us.
You got a big ego.